on AM 1380, FM 101.1, FM 99.5 on your Alexa, simply by saying, Alexa, play WYSH Radio Clinton on your smartphone using the TuneIn Radio app and on our website, WYSHradio.com. Trading Time can be seen and heard on BBB TV on Comcast Xfinity cable channels 1081 and 1086. Join us here Monday through Saturday after the news at 9 a.m. for Trading Time.
Let's go fishing. You know it's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind.
Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show, and I want to thank our sponsored by our local 917. Thanks, guys. We appreciate everything you do for us and helping us out, and especially when you get to get on the water and catch some fish. So, but right now it might be a little chilly, Mike, and that's another thing. I got somebody with me tonight. I just thought I'd drag him out of the house and bring him over here and let him get back in and around the real thing of what's going on. Mike, what do you know?
I know sitting in the chair and eating pills and watching TV ain't fun like fishing is. So hopefully one of these days I'll be able to get back on the water and start catching something.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good, Mike. I can't wait till that happens myself.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
I want to be there when you get able, that you can get back in the boat and go do what we have done all of our lives and keep it moving.
Yeah, that's right.
So, for sure. Remember, folks, we're on channel 1086. 1086 is where we're located at on the TV screen. So if somebody, wants to get on, or his buddy remind him, or whatever it might be, but that's the numbers you want to pull up on your TV, 1086, and Chandler will get you right in there with what's going on. Several things on my mind right now. Number one is Mike, for sure, and I want to thank Jeff Parrott. I'll be, hopefully we'll be, possibly if the weather gets halfway decent, we may try to make a trip this coming week. If that doesn't, and I've been told that we've got snow headed this way by the weekend. So, don't know. If I could get it 45 degrees tomorrow, let's see. Yeah. Thursday and Friday, I'd be, wouldn't mind that a bit, and would really like if it was about 55.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
For sure. But anyway, we're going to take a chance, take an opportunity every day that the weather's decent, and then when it's not, why, I've got to put some new fender boards on my boat trailer, so I'm going to be working on them things and getting them carpeted and this, that, and the other, and bolted back in place, and so everything I can do on that end. Then when fishing does come, why, I may have to let one stay off long enough for me to get
That's
back
right.
and forth.
That's right.
Just go on, go on without it. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we got a lot of things going on, and like I said, you all know about the weather. There's no need in me harping on that, because it's going to be what it is.
That's true.
Yeah, if it's going to snow, it's going to be snowing, and all that kind of stuff. So tell me when, Chandler. Hello, caller.
Hey, this is Jeff Parrott. I just want to call and say I love to see you brothers on TV tonight.
Well, we love to have you with us, Jeff, and you and your brother, and because you know, with us brothers, we kind of stick together, and
That's right, and it's so good to see both of y'all together tonight. I'm sitting here tonight. I wouldn't miss your show for nothing, Steve, and I love to see Mike on your left-hand side right there, brother.
Buddy, I appreciate you calling and letting us know, Jeff. I really do. And
hey, thank you guys, Steve. Listen, and it was good fishing down there with you guys. Not too long ago, we were down there on Watts Bar, and I had a good night, and I had a good time down there with you guys. I'm going to sit back and watch your show tonight, and it's so glad to see both of you all together. And I can't wait to watch your videos and have a good show tonight, and I wish Mike the best.
All right, Jeff, we really appreciate that, buddy. We really do.
Thank you. Have a good show, Steve. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Jeff thought about he's got some film for us, and at first off, we were going to have a handoff up here on the road somewhere, and because I had taken my truck over to the shop and had some. Oh, let me do this.
Turn wrong.
Yeah.
There, it's cut off.
Okay. Anyway, I went to the garage and had them put some, take my filter off and put some new oil and the new filter on, and I'm set to go now, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Jeff and I were going to hand off some footage that he had made a few days back, and we decided to put it off and catch him next month.
That's right.
Because he's got a couple of kayak tournaments to fish, and so if they're able to stand it, and hope they are. So hopefully we'll have some more film in here next month, come the first and or the last of the month, and go from there. But I can't tell y'all, how much it's meant to me to get Mike back out. He's ran himself to death for those 6 months, back and forth to the doctors and hospitals and everything in the world, and I just thank the Lord for him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Love you, Mike.
Well, it's been a tussle, buddy, and I love you too.
All right. You sure?
Yeah.
You ain't going to back up on me, are you?
No way.
You go get in the truck and back up?
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. But anyway, we've got several things, a couple of things going on, and I don't know how much film we've got, and Chandler says he thinks we've got quite a bit, which is great. But pass the word along to you guys. If you're not watching us right now, and your buddy is, call him on the phone and see if he's there. Because personally, I think we've got some pretty good stuff, as far as the fishing goes. And then you had the big expo over in Knoxville this past weekend, and
coming up this weekend, ain't it?
No, it's done come and gone. Done come and gone. Yeah.
You didn't tell me about that.
Well, you was the one that was telling me when you wanted to go.
Yeah.
That's and then you come back and said, it's snowing. It said it's snow on the ground, so we might wait till tomorrow. Well, that was the worst thing we could have done because it just piled more on.
That's right. Sure did.
So anyway, we've heard a lot of good things that took place over there, and this, that, and the other. And fishing's just gone out of sight. I mean, they got every kind of lure that you would think, every kind of depth finder you think you might use, and it's all, it's just.
Yeah, outboard motors and boats too.
Yeah, motors and boats. It's unreal, and
fishing gears, coats and breeches and everything, rain suits and all that.
All
stuff.
that, it's everything in the world and is out there, and I hated that I didn't get to go over there. Wished I had of, but I didn't, and it's. But I hear, the guys that I know and communicate with every so often, they was just telling me how good the show was. It was good.
Yeah.
Everybody was, fishing stuff anymore has just blossomed like a fruit tree, man. I mean, it just. Your forward-facing sonars, your locator, your fish finders, fish locators, is all just thrown in there, and it's going to be hard for them poor old bass to stay with it.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So, but it is. It was a good show from what I've heard, and. Which that's what makes it better.
Well, who sent you that picture?
Which picture that?
That bass you had on your phone there a while ago. It said reason the fish wasn't biting.
Oh yeah. Let me see, Mike. I don't know if we. Yeah. I hope I can make that thing do this.
Yeah.
It's back when they had the. COVID.
I had the Fauci mask on.
Yeah. It was back then. They took and put a mask on the bass and floated him out in the water and filmed him there.
Yeah.
And
so that's the reason the fish wasn't biting.
That's right. Yeah, had his mouth closed up and had his mask over it, and he was just swimming around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That definitely. There's always something on there, Mike. Always,
Oh yeah.
To do that with.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to get off of here for a few minutes. I'm going to go wrestle me up a bottle of water or a Coke, and while Chandler's showing this film, and I'll be right back. All right, folks. There's one of them little old Kentucky bass, man. He's pretty. I mean, a dandy. Back in the water with him. Dandy. All right, now we got like I said, that's a dandy. I mean, I just got to keep getting away from that thing. That fish there is close to 6 pounds. 5 and 5, 5.5. Boy, he's a dandy. Pretty, beautiful. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Let's see. Come on. There you go. Yeah, there's a pretty fish right there. Very next cast from that smallmouth. Got a dandy. Here we go. Back in the water with it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty fish right there now. Sure enough. Back in the water with him. All right, folks, there's a fish number 2. Back in the water with him. All right, folks, there's a good looking fish right there. I mean, a dandy. All right, we'll get her back in the water and get another. All right, folks, there's another good looking fish right there now. Sure enough, good keeper. Good keeper. All right, back in the water. All right, folks, there's another good fish right there. Nose are running, fish biting, stay at them. All right, folks, there's another good fish right there. Pretty fish. Yep, buddy. Back in the water he's going to go. All right, folks. There's our first fish. Not a bad looking fish. Get him back in the water. Get another. Folks, there's a good 2.5 pound fish, if not better. Nice. Yeah, boy, I mean a dandy. All right, let's get him back in the water and get another. All right, folks, there's another little bass. That's a small fish, but I like to get them anyway. Here we go, back in the water with him. All right, folks, there's you a good-looking little smallmouth. Pretty, ain't they? Yeah, gold color. Man alive. Nice. Back in the water. Boy, folks, that's a pretty smallmouth right there now. I mean a dandy. That's one of them 4-pounders. Good, a good one. All right, we're going to put him back in the water and see if we can get another. All right, folks, there's a good little fish right there. He's a good keeper. Sure is. Let's get him back in the water and get another. All right, we're about to get there. Boy, that's a good 3.5 pound fish right there now, folks. I missed another one back there, 4 or 5 calf. That's a good one. A dandy, I mean. Oh, yeah. Good, good. All right, folks, there's fish number 4, and that definitely is a good keeper. No two ways about it. All right, let's get him back in the water and get another. Yeah, there you go. All right, there's another fish, folks. I think I've had 3 get off, and I think I've caught 5. Yeah, good. Back in the water. All right. There we go. Pretty fish, nice and dandy. Here we go. Back in the water.
Good afternoon. Another beautiful but cold day across the Volunteer State. Secret City weather here with your afternoon.
Hey folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some 4-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that.
Yeah, buddy, that's a nice one. Sure is. Yeah, that fish 2 pounds or better, 2.5. First one this morning. All right, let's get him back in the water. All right, folks, there's fish number 2. That's another good keeper. Sure enough. All right, back in the water with him. All right, folks, there's a pretty little Kentucky bass now. Pretty plain, ain't he? Yeah, boy. Dandy, back in the water with it. All right, folks, that was a good 2.5 pounder right there now. That's a good. All right, it's a big largemouth. Here we go, back in the water. All right, folks, there's a nice smallmouth right there now. Dandy. Gonna get him back in the water. Get another one. All right, folks, there's a real pretty Kentucky bass. Nice one. All right, we'll get him back in the water.
Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TDA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, it's a good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, rather it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air. And I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we're back. Chandler, do we still have some film? Okay. All right, and we're going to start it back up here if that's possible. Can you run it back around again and? Okay. All right. Do whatever you think you can do to help us out. We'll go from there. Do think about the, going back to fishing and the fishing show, and Mike, we went to 2 or 3 of them over the years, and I don't know, just got too busy doing other things, and didn't get to stay long when we were there, and but like I said a while ago, every it's just got bigger and bigger, and
it had.
So it's that type of situation, It's it just keeps growing, and the equipment, like I said a while ago, the equipment that you're using nowadays, your electronics, your rods, your reels, the lures that you're throwing, it's just unreal what's out there.
It is. It is.
Just go, telling. There's been a few tournaments here this fall, and they're back last fall for I think it's September, might have been an October tournament, you know, was almost 30 pounds, I think. Won the thing, and it's just it's hard for them bass to get caught up, you know.
It is, for sure.
They're with all the electronics and stuff we got now, and this, that, and the other, why, heck, it's hard to not get them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a segment there. Let's see, when was it? Saturday morning, or anyway, they were shooting them docks for crappie. Hank Parker and his buddy there was in the boat, and they was fishing in under them docks, you know, with that little old bitty. He pull that thing back there and lay it rod tip down.
Yeah, old 4-footer them kids use.
No, they was using a lot longer, limber rod, and they just pull up there and lay that rod tip down next to the water and turn that jig head loose, and it might come out 10, 15 yards over on the other side of the dock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so there's a lot of things going on in that situation, and so it's hard to. But you know, people always finds a way.
No, I guarantee you.
You know, you pull up there, and it's like skipping a jig up and under a boat dock. You know, and that kind of stuff. So it's something else. You know, when you get to thinking about it back. Shucks, far, I don't know. You know, when you and I were 6, 7 years old, you know, sitting in the middle seat paddling, we were the paddlers, you know, had that plywood boat and the 10 horsepower motor. You know, so eventually it worked out where Dad he didn't want you beating on the side of the boat, you know, while you were paddling, but he wanted you to paddle.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's why they'd get and run up there and get on the section of the bank there, him and my mom or Wallace Coker or some of those guys that fished a lot, you know, at that time, and that was the way they fished, you know.
Yeah, top water plug's all they know.
Top water was all they knew.
Yeah, I don't think Dad even thought about a worm till Mom picked up a pack of them up there and got down there on Milton Hill and
that's right.
Started catching them fish in that millpool. On that worm, and before he ever tried it, you know.
Right.
It won't nothing to do with it to start with. And that man's jelly worm, what she's using, that solid purple, was about all they had. And,
Yeah.
You know, and top water was about the only thing he'd throw. And,
you know, two ways about it. And, you know, it's like I said, it's been a long journey, and looking forward to a little bit more longer. You know, good Lord be willing, that'd be great with me. But if he calls, I'm ready. So,
yeah.
But yeah, there's been a lot of things. You know, heck, we didn't. Back then, there, you know, jigs was an oncoming thing, and then it just, you know, went from this and that. Spinner baits, you know, jerk baits. Every one of them had a chance and to look and see and what was being used, you know, lure wise. That kind of thing, and
2 or 3 years there, it was big O.
Oh yeah,
took everything over there.
There wasn't no two way. I mean, you know, but when bass fishing really got is when they came them out down to Watts Bar that time and there and put in at Whites Creek and they had all the pros down there that time and you know it was something to learn by.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
You know, just another like you said, the Big O was a mainstay. Everybody around at that time was looking for them, wanting them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And thank the Lord for Bill Nichols and Mr. Young and all those people, anybody that was involved in those homemade plugs, man. It was a big deal.
Yeah, I had a lot of them making them and stuff. Jumped into the business of making them and
Yeah.
everything, and you know, they just kept coming out more and more all the time with deeper diving ones, plumb on up to the 30 plus, you know.
Yeah.
And everything.
Sure enough.
And all different shapes and paint jobs and everything, and they're still working today.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they sure
Sure
are.
enough.
They're still working today.
It just blossomed like a dang fruit tree or something, man. I mean, when they started, it just heck, you know, you took care of those things. You had 6 baits in every egg carton, and until you got into the bigger baits, and then you was only going to get 4 in the carton, and this, that, and the other. I mean, people wouldn't believe this day and time what all took place, you know, for that, and for them guys to make the baits that they did, and for them to be fishable like they were. Heck, it was something else.
Yeah, it was.
And,
It sure was.
ain't no two ways about it. Everybody was into the swing of the Big O.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I've got 2. I've got a little old display, and I've got two Big O's in it, and one of those crawdad crankbaits.
Mm-hmm.
And well, let's see, it only held 6, so I can't remember what the other 2 were. I think maybe it might have been one of them was a jerk bait and the other one was something else. But it's you know, it's really how it's all taking place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from back when we were paddling up the Clinch and out here this past weekend, you know, where the big show was at, and all the electronics and stuff that's been shown out there this past weekend, and this, that, and the other. So it's there's nothing wrong with it, and I'll tell you that. You know, but spinner baits, jigs, worms, creature baits of all shapes, sizes, and this, that, and the other. It just keeps on getting bigger and better.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Sure does. Matter of fact, the baits are getting more baits and got both to put them in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact. I don't. Shucks, this past back in summer 4 last, caught a lot of fish on North Lake. Caught a lot of fish, and just had, you know, you stay at them, stay after them, and there's been times that it wasn't that good, and then you get fooling around, the next thing you know, it's you know, it might be the 2nd or the 3rd year, they're everywhere you stop.
That's right.
You know, and you're out there throwing and casting and fishing for them, and it's something else. 4 of those fish that was on the camera there, I caught them this past week. Let's see, no, last Thursday and Friday, and I caught, like I said, I caught 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them on one day on Thursday, and then went back on Friday and caught the other 3 of those 5 that I had hooked. I had 3 of them in the boat, and the other 2 got away from me, and the water temperature, 47 degrees, at that time, 47, according to the depth finder there, what the temperature gauge was showing. So, but that's just part of it, and I haven't ventured away way down the lake, and I've been staying in Ladd Landing area, up the Clinch a little ways, and towards Little Emery, and then down towards the steam plant, kind of been where I fished at, and then, but I'm looking, hopefully we'll get it warm up enough that I can get down the lake down through there and try to find something else, and I know you've got the clothes to keep you warm, just like I have, and I don't know, hopefully I was hoping you'd get well enough to get on some crappie.
I'd sure like to.
Yeah.
Sure like to.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't want you out in the bad weather and get yourself sick, but I sure would like to be down there and catch us some crappie or 2. And go from there on that end of it for sure.
Yeah, if we ever get this left arm working, I'll be right back on them.
Well, that's good. I'm hoping that happens pretty quick. Quicker the better.
Yeah.
For sure. And let's see, what else was it? Who was that? Told me that shucks, who was it? Anyway, he told me, said, look here, I want to show you something. He pulled out his camera, camera there, and clicked that thing on there and showed me 2 10-pounders. That's coming off a
2 10-pound what?
Bass.
Bass, yeah.
Yeah, large bass. They was down there at Dayton.
Dayton, yeah.
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 Sure,
That Florida strain.
Yeah.
That's the first lake they put them in down there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's helping that lake a lot.
Yeah.
And stuff, and we hope it does watch bar eventually.
Well,
it's just taking a while.
yeah, if they quit spraying, it'd be a whole lot better.
Yeah, it sure would, but
Sure enough.
And people down there fish down there, Chickamauga, they get mad every time they see somebody spraying down there. They don't want that grass sprayed at all.
Don't blame them. It's just like nature,
Yeah.
And if you'll remember, right, when we were going over to Milton Hill and putting in over there, and we, the milfoil was already up on the banks already, and
Oh, yeah.
the dad hadn't been aware, and the first 2 or 3 trips we made, you was on one side and I was the other, and Mom up front and Dad in the back, and then he started throwing that plastic worm and spinner baits, and that was something you didn't see a whole lot of, and at that time,
That's right.
At that time, there me and you was 6, 7 years old, and we were the paddlers again, and so the milfoil is a help, and the other day, here a while back, 3 or 4 weeks ago, when Jeff and I had such a good day up there, I told him to come on down, and that morning or the night before, and I said, "You just come on." I said, "Whenever you get up in the morning, just come on, just pull in here at my driveway, and I'll have it marked good." And so anyway, and we fished up through there and in that milfoil, and honestly, we weren't throwing in the milfoil. We were throwing right at the edge of it. Mm-hmm. And heck, I was throwing a little old crankbait run about 4 or 5, maybe 6 foot on a long cast, and we just had a ball. We doubled up several times there in that 4, 5, 6 hour period.
Yeah.
He'd get hooked up for one, or I'd hook up for one, and then the guy behind or in the front, he'd get hooked up, and we had that double several times on that patch of milfoil out through there. There's a whole lot of that stuff that you guys just have to work at it, Mm-hmm. And like you said, Mama was throwing wanted her one of them plastic worms on there, and I think it wasn't 4 or 5 casts. And she had an old push button Zebco and caught one, and but that kind of, you got to have it. You got to have that habitat. Mm-hmm. Don't want them all getting blistered out there without any shade.
I heard that.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping here in the next few days it warm up enough that a man could go down there and go fishing. There on Watts Bar, or even on farther down if need be, to make everything work out right. But I don't know, just trying to stay at them and stay after them, it's a big deal, and I'd like to have me a forward sonar and see how it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
And
see that.
May try to round one up here in the next few days, especially if this cold weather stays in here, and having somebody help me mount it up would be in business.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking on the fishing, Mike?
Well, as far as crappie, I'd say deep. Start off 20 foot and work your way out. But the bass, the water cools down much more. I'd say you'll have to slow down and either a drop shot or Carolina rig, or just even a jig. Mm-hmm. And, them places where there's some structures formed and stuff, but that forward facing sonar will tell you where they're at and stuff. If you got time to fool with it and learn about it and everything, I'd sure like to learn a little more about it.
I agree.
Idle around and scan them places and see where the fish is at.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they moved up shallow or out deep or whatever. But, most of the time they don't get much deeper. The bass is 25, 30 foot at the most, and stuff. I've caught a lot of them in the wintertime out there, out of structure and stuff. 25, 30 foot of water. But I just don't believe them bass get as deep as them crappie do. Don't seem to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 3 things I'd think you could try mostly that jig and then go back to the drop shot or something. I don't know that the Alabama rig or anything would work. It might, you know. It just depends on where them bass is at. Were they still holding in the back of them creeks or stuff, or were they out on the points or down in the main channel or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck, you might run up on them dang walleye or something up there. Sauger, either one, you never know.
Yeah.
They get out there pretty deep too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there ain't no two ways about that.
Yeah.
Sure enough, 30 feet ain't nothing to them walleye and sauger, you know. They get down there on the bottom there in that 30 foot of water, you know, you ought to catch them, really and truly.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Let's see. Something I'm going to try when I do get a chance to go back to the lake. I'm going to try that one of them, and I know they'll work because them fellas is calling that that little silver spoon.
Silver buddy or something? That
Yeah.
little silver spoon? Yeah.
Yeah. They'll bite it for sure. What are you looking for?
Turn that thing off and get the time and date on there.
It's January the 27th at 7:46.
7:46.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So be figuring out what you're going to do the rest of the show.
Well, that's up to you to talk that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I've talked out.
I'm the dummy.
Oh, I've talked out.
You just brought me over here to keep you company, you know.
Yeah. You know, there's so much, and you got all these young kids that's competing in these tournaments nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And they got all this electronics and stuff. You know, it's hard to beat them.
Well, they
And
grew
you
up
ain't-
on that
yeah,
stuff.
you ain't going to beat them. I mean, that's just the point of it.
Dad got that first flasher unit there, and it was old Hummingbird and stuff. We didn't know nothing about it either.
Right.
You know, and started learning a little bit about it, and got to where we was doing pretty good on it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to show us the fish, but it showed us what was down there as far as the contour and the structure and stuff that we was running over. We didn't even know it was down there, you know.
Yeah.
And stuff. And yeah, they come on with them old flasher units there, and they was one of the best that they got whenever you was running down the lake, because you know, you just watch that thing go up or down, whatever, shallow or deep or whatever, and no matter how fast you're going, that some gun is still read. And a lot of these other units won't read once you get up there on planes, start down through there.
Yeah.
It's a lot different because you go so fast that unit can't change fast enough.
Yeah, it's out of the water pretty much back there and behind the boat anyway.
Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them, they got that all-in-one transducer there that's supposed to pick up speed and the depth and what they call that, the unit, the down scan and all that, you know. And, I'm not sure whether they do the side scan, but it's a 3-in-1 deal, they call it. That, put on your boat, but you got to get it back there what they call a skimmer in the water when the boat's up on its pad, you know. But, it still can't change as fast as them flashers did and stuff. But I mean, you can punch in your dang unit there and bring it up just like a flasher. But I ain't never tried it enough to know whether it will change as fast as the old flasher did. But I still got one that ain't never been put in the water at the house and stuff. Or, you know, it's just like them computer sonars they come out with that had the paper raft in it, you know, and then you chart that bottom and stuff. But I learned a lot from that because I could see the bottom, and as a matter of fact, I found fish with it. Yeah. You know, and stuff, and done pretty good on it for a few years there. And about finding the fish and finding the different types of bottom you had and structure and stuff. And yeah, it's a pretty good unit there for a few years. And stuff there, you know. And heck, I think I still got 3 or 4 of them. You know. Yeah. Down there. And,
but they quit fooling with them because of the paper. I mean, and they just outrun the unit, you know.
Well, you did all the time having to put a new roll of paper in, but you didn't have. You could pull it up and stretch it out and find what you was looking at in there. But Lord have mercy, it rolls of paper I went through, you know, and stuff, and that's unbelievable. But you know, somebody said there's locking up or going away. I don't know which one. Yeah, there's a lot of things that went on with that, and I personally didn't have no memory like the ones you got now. I reckon you can chart a place and put the waypoint on there and come right back to it. And if you wanted to pull it up, you could pull it up at home and look at it again. Yeah. And stuff. But having them waypoints saved you a lot of time about finding stuff out there in open water, where you could run right to next to the spot and then throw the motor down or whatever and circle around right there on it and pull up and right to it and fish it, you know. It's a lot easier to find things like that. Yeah. Instead of having to cast and cast and cast to try to see if you can locate it or hide around on it with the flasher or whatever. Everything, yeah, it was a lot better than that. I was pretty well satisfied with that old unit I got, and I've had it for 11 years, you know, and still use it all the time.
Is that the one on the dash?
Yeah, the one on the dash, you know. And the one in the front of the boat, I put it in there whenever I got the boat. Yeah. You know, 2010. You know.
Well, that's, I mean, you know, I don't see, can you get all the stuff? I mean, here's what I'm thinking. You're out here with this electronics, and before it gets out of the box, they've already got one better.
Oh yeah, guarantee you.
And then they got, you know, you have one the size of that briefcase, 2 of them on the console, and but that, you know, like I said, you know, these things are changing so fast. In my opinion, and what I've seen and heard, you know, they can't hardly keep up.
Well, that's kind of, about like the one I bought there, that they had the big reduction in the price of it there, for a few days to get rid of a bunch of them because they had the new ones coming online.
Yeah.
And they tried to clear them out of the factory down there to put the new ones in and start selling them.
Yeah. Yep.
All this new additions to it, whether you want Wi-Fi, you want TV cameras mounted in the boat and film yourself while you fishing and everything, and recording all of it on them cameras feeding on that depth finder, storing all the information on the depth finder.
Yeah.
Except, and you can send it to somebody else while you're fishing. They can sit there and watch you fish where they got their telephone on watching you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything. It's unbelievable what them things can do nowadays. But you got to be smart enough to operate them. Most of the time, it's these young kids that grew up with all this technology that knows how to make it work. When you're sitting there scratching your head and thinking, well, I need to do this, need to do that, they can hit them dang buttons and show you stuff you ain't even thought about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
Sure is. There's something else on it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things with one of them compared to the old ones. But, I had that 8 I had a down scan and the side scans on it. I can go to one side or the other, or go both sides and all that, and go to one side and down too and stuff. And he'd show some structure and stuff in there, and done fire on fish, but not good, not like these new ones has got, and stuff. That was a pretty good unit and stuff there, and I just it kept acting up on me and sent it back. And finally, they called him up out there, said, I need my unit, when will it be here? And he said, well, it'll be 3 to 4 weeks. And I said, Lord, I can't do without that 3 or 4 weeks. I told him, I said, have you got anything else? Oh, yeah, we got some other stuff. And I said, he gave me the price on upgrading from an 8 to a 9. And I said, well, just send me the 9. I need it. I said, everything work? He said, yeah, everything go right on it and work fine. Well, got it in there and come find out the dang transducers wouldn't work. Had to go to a different plug-in on the transducers. So that was another week. I had to wait before I got it back working. But that touch screen job there, you had to watch what you was doing with it, because you just wave your hand by it or touch it, and it'd change the whole thing. And I said, dang, I had to go back through all this again to get it back where I had it. It was a fight for that thing for a while till I learned how to use it. And, these new ones is even more complicated than that. And, I guess our brain just don't absorb things as fast as them kids do.
Yeah.
Say something else.
Okay. Did you say 2 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to start winding up. Are you about ready? You ready to do that? Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. Listen, we've had to had a lot of talking went on and talking about this and that. You all have listened to it. You've heard it, and want to thank everybody from tuning in. And those of you that missed, we'll be looking for you sometime next week or next month at the end of the month. That kind of thing. We do want to thank BBB Communications for keeping us going on the air, and appreciate them taking care of us, and so we can get our electronics where it needs to be and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're going to sign off and hope you all will pass it on, for your friends and buddies to kind of tune in where we're at, and that's in 1086, channel 1086 on your TV, and get on there with us, and maybe you can help us, and we can help you all, and make this thing work. So we're happy and enjoying it, but would like to have some of you guys calling in or whatever, and if you've got something you want to tell us, that's even better. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors, helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes, we get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is